You're now watching Colorado State University's student-run campus television, Channel 25, weeknights from 8 to midnight.
For Tuesday, February 10th, 2004, you're watching CTV News.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News. I'm Ashley Hauser.
And I'm Dominic Garcia. Accusations that surrounded the University of Colorado's football recruiting program hit closer to home today. The Rocky Mountain News reported that a Denver-based escort service has been providing strippers for recruiting parties at both CSU and the University of Northern Colorado. Josh Farmer standing by in the newsroom with more. Josh?
Dominic, you're exactly right. The national media has been focused on the University of Colorado's sex scandal for almost 2 weeks now, but Steve Lauer of Hard Bodies Entertainment says he's not just sending his girls to Boulder.
This is so widespread. It's not, it's tradition.
Pages 126 and 127 of the Colorado State University Handbook list 12 school traditions. CSU says this is not one of them.
We come out, it's just like going to a strip club, but we come to you. The girls come out and they'll put the dancer in a chair in front of everybody. And a lot of times they put a little party hat on them to single them out, and they make jokes with the party hat. And then they dance the first song for them, and the rest of the time they'll stay and dance for the whole crowd.
With similar claims from Hard Bodies Entertainment president Steve Lauer to the Denver media sources, the football recruiting scandal that made national news at the University of Colorado took a turn north today. Lauer says his company has been sending exotic dancers through Boulder and on to Greeley and Fort Collins for the last 20 years. Today, the question on the campus of Colorado State is the same that surrounded the University of Colorado all week. What did the athletic department know, and what did they do about it?
I have never in 20 years received a call from a coach, an assistant coach, a player rep, nothing, period. These are all usually friends of the players that are calling. They know the recruits coming into town, and they set it up.
CSU Athletic Department spokesman Gary Azello says the university is not aware of any such activities taking place here at CSU, and the university does not condone such recruiting tactics. Now, it's important to note that no one has come forward to support Lauer's accusations, and the university is adamant that they would never support any of the activities that have been alleged against them. Ashley?
All right, thanks, Josh. 2 men were arrested earlier this week in connection with a double homicide in northern Fort Collins. Police first came to the home on Saturday when an employee of the now deceased Robert Hill discovered the bodies of both Mr. Hill and Mr. John Miller. Police then investigated the scene and interviewed possible suspects. As a result of their finding, Edward J. Platter, 39, and Mark J. Walker, 36, were taken into custody. Walker lived next door to Hill. Neighbors had nothing but good things to say about both Hill and Miller. However, many said that Walker was not always a good neighbor, and many also had been witness to his bad temper.
A new bill is being proposed in Colorado's House of Representatives that addresses the rights of students in the classroom. However, CSU, along with other universities, feels that, it's just not necessary. House Bill 1315 recognizes a student's right to academic freedom and covers 3 main issues. The first is the right to academic freedom will not be infringed upon by instructors who create a hostile environment in regard to religious or political beliefs. Second, students have the right to expect that they will be graded solely on the basis of knowledge of the subject studied. And finally, the right to expect that their student fees shall only be distributed on a viewpoint-neutral basis.
So the reason why ASCSU is opposing that state bill is because we already have provisions in place at Colorado State University to protect those students from those same issues.
ASCSU will be voting on the issue tomorrow and will join other colleges at the Capitol to make their voices heard later in the month.
The volunteer-based program Ramride is falling on some hard times. Due to a shortage of volunteers, Ramride is considering operating only on selected weekends. Last semester, Ramride provided over 6,000 rides for students needing rides home. Last night, the directors made their plea for not only current volunteers to keep volunteering their time, but also to reach out to new volunteers in hopes of keeping Ramride alive.
We really just come to the point where the volunteer situation is the only constraining factor. We're dealing with needed 35 volunteers a night, and sometimes we're coming in on a Wednesday or a Thursday afternoon, and we only have half those volunteers for Friday night, and so.
Because of the low numbers of volunteers, Ramride will not be operating this weekend. For more information or to learn more about volunteering, you can look them up on the CSU website.
Well, although freshman students only compose of 15% of the total CSU population, the Hartshorn Health Center believes that 20 to 25% of patients that visit the health center daily are indeed freshmen. Many students now living in the dorms are complaining of illnesses that are related to the lack of ventilation in the residence halls. It seems to many students that live in the dorms that once a person becomes ill, it doesn't take much longer for the entire hall to come down with the symptoms. During the winter months, Hartshorn Health Center does agree that there are a large percent of incoming patients that are freshmen and that they often come in with similar symptoms. Well, in order to prevent illnesses as much as possible, the Hartshorn Health Center recommends that students consider washing their hands regularly, getting enough sleep, eating well-balanced meals, taking multivitamins, and drinking at least 2 liters of water a day. The health center is open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 5 p.m.
The Doral Express is offering students and staff more options when it comes to eating on the run. Doral Express provides students with meals to go. Some of these selections include pizza by the slice, sandwiches, and ready-made salads. Director of Dining Services Dion Latigan explains why Doral Express is such a unique program.
Well, the Doral Express is fast, so a lot of times students don't want to take the time to have a leisurely meal. Most students are time deprived now, and what we've attempted to do is have something that's really convenient for them and give them another option.
The Doral Express is located in the Doral Dining Center on campus and is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Coming up next on CTV, a look at local Valentine's tradition.
And trains traveling through Fort Collins may cause an extra delay for drivers.
From Colorado State University, Dominic Garcia, Ashley Hauser, Brooke Shaletowitz, and Rachel Regalato. You're watching Campus Television News.
Call the Center for Drug and Alcohol Prevention and the Center for Health Promotion and quit gambling with your life.
Tired of the same old living arrangements? Then check out Rams Point. With more amenities than any of the competition, Rams Point is your one-stop location for a fun college living experience. Individual leases are currently available. Check out Rams Point, a student apartment community.
Classifieds, how may I help you?
Place it, find it, buy it, sell it, rent it. All this and more with the Rocky Mountain Collegian Classifieds, as low as $4.50 a day. Call 491-1686, 491-1686.
Fort Collins is taking action to clean up the air. A new experiment is being tested to see if air quality will improve. The Air Quality Advisory Board and citizens of Fort Collins are recommending that drivers turn off their engines when stopped at railroad crossings as they wait for trains to go by. According to a recent survey done by the Fort Collins government website, only 20% of commuters turn off their engines while waiting. Turning off engines would help reduce the amount of pollutants such as carbon monoxide to be released into the air. The city has placed 6 different signs at the train tracks on Horsetooth and McClelland, reminding drivers to help with pollution.
The career fair is coming to the main ballroom this week. The fair will be on Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, you can check it out on the web at www.career.colostate.edu. The fair is open to all students and alumni of CSU.
It all started in 1846 when a small-town Colorado postmaster answered the requests of a few Valentine sweethearts by putting his postmark on their Valentine cards. Today, organizers of the Loveland Valentine Remailing Program estimate over 10 million love wishes have passed through the city's postal service. CTV photojournalist Dave Althouse and anchor Josh Farmer took a trip to the Loveland Chamber of Commerce yesterday, and this is what they found.
Sweet promises on Arrow's ride.
From Loveland Hearts to the whole world ride.
Letter by letter, stamp by stamp, the people of Loveland are working to deliver their love to the world.
They come from all over. It's great to think that everybody is doing this.
At the Loveland Chamber of Commerce, you can find their message in every brochure, but every February morning you'll also find it in the air. It's on pads of red and black, in the messages on the walls, and on the faces of every volunteer.
You sure get to know each other while you're doing this.
Yesterday was day 2 of the 2004 Loveland Valentine Remailing Program. In that time, few more than 30 workers, ranging in age all the way up to 89, have stamped more than 20,000 Valentine cards.
This year they were predicting about 300,000.
Over the last 58 years, Valentine's Day has become a year-long celebration for the people of Loveland, and with cards coming from all over the world, anyone here can tell you that that love is spreading.
In Scotland, here's Korea, Germany, Canada.
By February 14th, cards will reach each of the 50 states. They'll pass through the White House and travel abroad to more than 100 foreign nations, but in the end, it all comes back to one small-town message with a universal appeal that could only be born in the land of love.
If you would like to send a Valentine, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Postmaster, Valentine Remailing, Loveland, Colorado, 80538.
Well, Brooke now joins us for some sports. Brooke, I heard the basketball team had a tough one last night. Do you have some good news for us?
You know, it was a tough game for the men, Dom, but they were able to play well against Air Force despite the loss. Coming up next, I will have all the highlights, plus we'll take a look at the newest CSU football recruits. Stay tuned.
The Lori Student Center is the place to be. It's the place for taking care of business and the place to buy and sell textbooks. It's the place for staying connected, student organizations, leadership programs, and more, all right here. It's the place to eat. It's the place for entertainment. There's always something happening at the LSC. Movies, art exhibits, and special performances. Check it out online. The Lori Student Center is definitely the place to be.
Work, play, home, away. Millions of people riding every single day.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Monday to the park, Wednesday to the pool. Every other Friday volunteering at the school.
Transport, wherever life takes you.
You're watching Emmy Award-winning campus television, winner of the 2003 Heartland Regional Emmy Award for Outstanding Student Achievement. And now, CTV Sports with Brooke Shaletowitz.
It was the tale of two halves Monday night as the CSU men's basketball team headed south to take on Air Force. In the end, the Falcons' first half domination was just too much for the Rams. Matt Nelson was once again sidelined and was truly missed in CSU's loss to the Mountain West Conference leader. Clune Arena was packed with screaming cadets last night as the Rams rolled into town. In the beginning of the game, Air Force was the first to score. Joel Gerlach gave the Air Force the early lead, which they would hold on to for much of the game. Shelton Johnson added his own input, sinking a three-pointer to tie up the game at 5-all. A few minutes later, CSU was given a chance to take control of the score but missed what would prove to be their only opportunity of the night. The Falcons would score a few more points before going into the half and would head to the locker room with a 30-17 lead. Things heated up in the second half. Air Force would continue to make threes, much like this one from Gerlach, but with 16 minutes left on a questionable pushing call right here by the refs, the game hit a turning point for the Rams. A technical foul called on head coach Dale Layer seemed to provide his team with a much-needed spark. It was all Robinson from there. He led the Rams with 15 total points, 11 of which he scored after the coach's technical. His points included this free throw, from which was one of the 4 total foul shots attempted by CSU on the night. That set a Mountain West Conference record and put the score at 39-32. Air Force would not go away though, as they go on to win the game 52-44 and set a school record with their 7th conference victory.
But I'm proud of our guys. I thought we played with great effort and intensity and battled and could have shut her down at halftime, and we didn't.
The Colorado State women's basketball team also took on Air Force this past weekend. They fared much better than the men, and after the game, they are back to their winning ways. The struggling Falcons did not put up much of a fight Saturday at Moby as they allowed the CSU women to run all over them. Let's take a look at the highlights. In the beginning, the only real game that was being played was guessing when the Falcons would finally score. CSU came out strong, scoring the first points of the game. Melissa Dennett puts the ball in the hoop. She would end the night with a total of 18 points. Air Force just could not get the ball in the basket. At this point, the score is 4-0, but it gets worse. Amoy Jackson tried but still could not open up scoring for the Falcons. Now with 13:24 left on the clock, Air Force was still scoreless. Latricia Castillo was next in line, attempting to get 3 from the top of the court. Meanwhile, the Rams were busy scoring points of their own as they chalked up the lead to 21 unanswered points. If you guessed that the Falcons finally scored 9 minutes and 58 seconds into the game, then you are correct. The rest of the game went much the same way as the CSU women went on to win 83-46. The Rams now stand at 12-8 on the season with a 3-4 record in conference play. CSU will be looking to keep their winning streak alive as they travel to Utah this week. It will not be an easy feat though. The Rams will square off against the Mountain West Conference's #1 ranked Utes. The game will be played at the Huntsman Center on Thursday. The women will then head to Provo on Saturday to take on BYU. Switching gears to football now, head coach Sonny Lubick announced last Wednesday the commitments of 27 athletes to the CSU football program. Tonight we will take an in-depth look at some of the defensive signees. Sports reporter Skip Stewart has the lowdown on the newest members of the Colorado State football team.
The Rams got some much-needed help on defense, adding junior college transfer Cletus Floyd. Floyd was a first-team all-conference defensive tackle at Compton City College.
Cleotis Floyd, he's a kid who has 3 years left to play. And he went to Northwestern and then Portland State, so he's got a little college experience. He'll come in and be a player for us. We'll put him right into the mix.
The Rams will lose 3 linebackers to graduation, but they will bring in 2 junior college transfers that Coach Lubick said should play immediately, John Morris and Chris Davis of Moore Park College. Davis turned down Michigan State, Hawaii, and BYU to play for the Rams. He is already enrolled at CSU and will take part in spring drills.
We're certainly expecting Chris Davis and John Morris to be right in the thick of things, and if they're not starting for us, they're twos, because we got about 6. All you can have is 6 or 7 linebackers. They're going to be in that top group.
Matt Rupp can play at many positions. The 6'1", 240-pounder from California played defensive tackle for 2 years of high school. In his last 2 years, he played defensive end. He has already mentioned the possibility of playing linebacker at CSU.
Matt Rupp is a kid who went out for wrestling the first time in his career as on there as a defensive end, and he's 15 and he tied 1 match this year in wrestling heavyweight at 245 pounds or something like that.
Mike Myers also signed to play at CSU, not to be confused with the man who played Austin Powers in the movies. This Mike Myers rushed for over 1,500 yards his senior season of high school, but will probably end up playing cornerback or strong safety at CSU.
You know, as a coach, you go home and think, are we going backward, are we going forward? That's, you know, my goal as far as being kind of the head coach here and for all the coaches is that we want to keep this program just going this way all the time. And there's no question that this could be something pretty special. You know.
Other recruits include Kiari Campbell, an all-conference defensive back who can run the 40-meter dash in 4.43 seconds. Tommy Hill out of Arapahoe High, who turned down an offer from Nebraska to come play for the Rams. Jeff Horonek, a state champion wrestler from Kansas, is also on the list, along with Paul Madsen, who will defer his entrance onto the team in fall of 2004 to complete a religious mission. Defensive back Chase Weber will be looking to add his speed to the CSU football team. He won a district track title in Texas, running 200 meters in 21.6 seconds. John Morris and Robert Herbert, who have both played ball at the college level in California, will also join the Rams. While CSU football is busy recruiting for next year, the Rams softball team season is just getting started. After splitting a doubleheader with Cal Poly on Thursday, the Rams headed into this past weekend's Mustang Roundup with high hopes. On the first day of the Roundup in California, CSU defeated Sacramento State 5-4. Senior Megan Masser pitched for the Rams, striking out 10 batters to hand CSU their first win in the tournament. Later in the day, the women went on to beat Nevada 6-3. On day 2, the Rams did not fare as well. They lost once again to Cal Poly in a 2-1 decision in freshman Jessica Strickland's collegiate pitching debut. She allowed only 2 runs on 5 hits. Later that night, Colorado State turned things around and beat UC Santa Barbara 4-3. Revenge is sweet, though, as the Rams found out on Sunday. Their second tournament game against Cal Poly ended in 6 innings after left fielder Brittany Huerta put the game away with a 3-run triple. In the game, the Rams scored a season-high 12 points.
Well, Brooke, it sounds like they have a great team. Have they received any national recognition?
You know, Dom, at the beginning of the season, before play even started, they were projected to be second in the league, and this weekend was definitely a great start.
Well, let's hope they live up to that. And coming up next, Rachel will be here with entertainment on the latest news for some hot shows coming to town.
Hey Ram fans, CSU basketball is going strong this season, and if you've missed out on the action, it's not too late to join fellow Moby Maniacs in supporting your Rams. The men's and women's basketball teams are looking for your help to give Moby a home court advantage in their upcoming games. Bring your friends, bring your residence hall, bring your roommates, and bring yourself to watch head coaches Dale Lair and Chris Danker lead the Rams to victory in Moby Arena. Admission is always free to students. For more information, call 491-RAMS or visit csurams.com.
Campus service officers are the eyes and ears of the CSU Police Department. They provide safe walks to all students and are available 7 days a week. To request a safe walk, pick up an emergency phone on campus, call the Safe Walk line, or simply ask a CSO on duty. CSOs patrol and provide walks from Constitution to Matthews Street and Prospect to Mulberry Street. To be safely escorted to your destination, call 491-1155.
And now, CTV Entertainment with Rachel Regalado.
If you have been to the rec center lately, you probably have noticed the large crowds. If you are looking for a more relaxing way to get in shape that doesn't involve fighting for an elliptical, check out their mind-body classes, which include Pilates and yoga workouts.
The point for people to get in is to try something new, to vary up their workouts or their activity regimen, or to find something that they actually like. So maybe they're having a hard time finding something to get into. Maybe this is one avenue that they will like and they would like to continue with. And also it's very mentally challenging to do these classes as well, so it's really fun in that aspect as well, and not only physically.
classes are $59 for a semester pass or $4 each time. There are 15 classes per week and you can drop in whenever you want. For schedule information, you can drop by the Rec Center and pick up a schedule or visit their website at www.campusrec.colostate.edu. Well, singing and dancing filled the stage last Friday as the spring opera scenes opened in the Laurie Student Center Theater. If you didn't get a chance to attend, here are some highlights of the great musical pieces that were performed. The costumes enticed audiences by making each scene come to life. Some of the most popular musical scenes of all time were reenacted, including Phantom of the Opera, the jail block scene from Chicago, and the popular fairy tale Cinderella.
That it's just a combination of a bunch of different musicals scenes, so like some of the highlights from some really famous musicals.
If you missed out on the performances, be sure to keep watching CTV for information on the upcoming musical Chess. Well, the Laurie Student Center is not just a place for food and studying, it is a place for fun, especially at the Ramskeller. This past Friday night, jazz and funk band Heavy G and the Boogaloo Communicators performed their swinging style of melody and music. Heavy G and the Boogaloos combine both jazz and funk together while adding some hip-hop and dance flavor. Each member has an instrumental talent that ranges from the drums to the guitar to the keyboard and the saxophone. The combination of the instruments makes the sound of jazz music to the ears. Well, if you are looking for a great Valentine's gift for your one and only, log on to Ticketmaster and purchase concert tickets for one of the upcoming performances at the Pepsi Center. Upcoming concerts include Britney Spears March 15th, Metallica March 31st, Alan Jackson with Martina McBride April 1st, Kelly Clarkson and Clay Aiken April 13th, and Sarah McLachlan July 20th. Well, for all you single ladies who are looking for something fun to do this weekend, grab your girlfriends and head to the Vagina Monologues. The popular play explores women's issues, past and present, and addresses all ages of women. Invite your roommates, your sisters, mothers, and grandmothers to share in real-life women's stories.
I think the most important thing about this show is that it really sheds light on a lot of women's issues, and it's really important for just women to see it. It's very empowering, a lot of it is, because it's about independence and power and loving yourself.
The monologues will run Saturday, February 14th at 7 o'clock p.m. and a Sunday matinee, February 15th at 2 o'clock p.m. Tickets are $7 for the general public.
Well, Rachel, it sounds like there's a lot of things going on this month. I might have to go check some of those out.
Yes, Ashley, there are a ton of things. Everybody should be able to find something that they enjoy.
Great. Thanks, Rachel. We'll be right back.
Students making 11,000 bike trips a day. Bicycle safety is important on the CSU campus. CSU Bike Patrol officers work to maintain safety and regulate bicycle traffic. They need your help. Obey all posted signs. Make sure you have a light on your bike at night. Walk your bike in dismount zones. Yield to pedestrians at all times. By doing these things, you'll be maintaining bicycle safety at CSU. For more information, call 491-6425.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ramblers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. Welcome to the Ramblers. I am Travis Huntington.
I'm Tyler Krause.
I'm Chris Dittmer. A great game this weekend.
Another huge game for the Rams.
Don't forget to tune in to the Ramblers every Tuesday night from 6 to 8 right here on 90.5 KCSU.
One radio, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, zero commercials.
Turn it up, turn it up.
90.5 KCSU.
90.5.
This is your student-run radio.
It is your student-run radio station.
On your FM dial, run by students, for students. It's 90.5 KCSU.
It gets me to class.
It's all about efficiency.
We're going to the mall.
It's my second set of wheels.
Transport, wherever life takes you.
That's all for this edition of CTV News. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time, same place.
Count on CTV for all your latest news, sports, and entertainment. Thanks for watching.
For news, sports, and entertainment, you're watching Campus Television, Channel 25, weeknights from 8 to midnight.